and make we put salon first. This message they come on from Hope for Youth Salon, Makeni chapter.
I'm foresee me country, fever like a paradise, paradise. I'm foresee me country, all my daily every day I be life. And what you gonna make? This one I go come to reality. And when I go vote, the votes not me right, the votes not me like. I no go do the thing we go make a loss be like. I go vote, but I no go fence. I go vote, I don't tell all the people them say. I go vote, but I no go fence. I go vote, but tell all the body them say. You go vote, but you no go fence. You go vote, hope for the youth we they say. You go vote, but you no go fence. You go vote.
Black Blingers music.
Votes now your rights, don't ever forget.
Don't ever forget to.
Because Mama Salon, you know, now you one green we get.
Now you one grade we get.
The votes not me right, the votes not.
Family, on a good afternoon, on a good morning, on a good evening, any side on a friend and a self in the world. I hope you are doing well. I hope so now they do well. Well, I'm on side the sun Timap. Timap serious one, but with a little bit of breeze, which is good. And definitely I am doing H2O. With some ice cubes. That's good. I hope the week has been good for you guys. I hope say the week been good for una. I hope say una they get time for file waiting they go on now with beloved Mama Salon. Because as of right now, Osaya Sidon, so we get 20 days, 4 hours and 54 minutes to the day, the D-Day, right? The D-Day, 24th June, 2023. For those of you who are still undecided, and are not sure who side for link, who side for go, waiting for do, because we still no understand, now that make people they like we dey so. We go nyaka around for now, we go scatter around for now. We go show na small how the things sit down inside the kotoku. We get for look inside the SLPP manifesto, meaning say the SLPP the book, the thing where them promise say na im for make unu give them 5 more years. We also get for look inside the APC the book. The thing where then they say now for this there is in so make unu need for bring them come back for make them can work for unu. But listen, it has been interesting. Before we go even further, make introduce me two co-hosts them for today, guest host, co-host, what have you. I get with me Madam Kadi Johnson Cole. We're not a stranger to una. I go make it tell una do.
Yeah, if I'm there, on a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever on a day, I don't come back. I hope they on a go enjoy this show.
Okay, so I don't know. At the area very faintly, very faintly. I hear Madam Kadi Johnson Cole very faintly. I barely in the area waiting to say. So maybe let's try that again.
Okay. You there, I now, if I'm there, a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever on a day. Part of this show again today. I hope they want to go enjoy the show. I've been away for a long time, for maybe over a year or something. It's important back. I hope so I go enjoy.
Okay, that was good. That was a good projection. And then I get with me not the person who knows be, the man with a very soft voice, but when he lands some serious punches. Mr. Abdul Kagbo, tell family I do.
Well, family Munadu and Mina Abdul Karim Kagbo. And I guess for they go in and out because I know say then two mania then we able for do better than with me go able for do. But in any case, I go there side by side with them. I know it's a big challenge. But again, on a share and we all talk about the thing that we go affect Salone. Not only the bad things them, even the good things them. Again, on a cabo. And I want to say thank you to we own sister, we our sister Matilda, and for Madam Kadi for they able allow me for day with them. On a thank you and on a welcome.
Okay, so hey, people from all over the world now share. So people can say Matilda, if you forget for member, we for share. But listen, if I am doing the talking, your job is to be doing the sharing and the commentating. Hey, maybe divide the task now. Yeah? So if we don't do the research, I don't do the, I can't sit down how they talk the book and don't for now this that. I think so on your own job for share, for click that button, and also please don't forget. We don't upload the steps them on how una forget the notification when the show come on, because Facebook could have been changed the algorithm, and because they've been changed the algorithm, some things then be kind of shift, and so therefore Boko una be not a complaint say when I come on una not they get the notification. Now we don't show unu how waiting unu for do with una phone them, so that when I come on unu go able get the notification. Hey, listen. So, the family where they watch me on Twitter, listen, salute. I hope so now they do well. To the one where they watch me on YouTube, bonjour. I hope so now they do well. To the one where they watch me on Instagram, bonjour. I hope so now they do well. And you say, this one, so Matilda, they can't wait. Listen, languages are beautiful. And what have you, before the election, I can't see why they can't go commend in I so I not go believe. I can't go commend, I can't go Timmy, I go Shabu, I go Krankon, I so now wait no where they come. Anyways, so listen, we are 20 days, so from now till the time where we get for go EBITDA paper inside that box. Now the side them where we did. Now 20 days and 30, make I look am back so I don't make mistake. So 20 days right now I don't even go to 4 hours. 20 days 4 hour 51 minutes now we sit down inside right now. So what basically means say really we just about 3 weeks to the election. 3 weeks to the election. 3 weeks to the election. Have you decided? You don't decide who side you dey go. You don't decide what thing you want for yourself. Remember, say this election not about you no more. This election about you pikin, you granny, auntie, mama, pikin, cousin. The one themself where sabi where you dey help take care of. It's about everybody. It's about everything. It's about every issue. But more importantly, it's about being able to feed yourself, being able to take care of yourself. Are you living a decent life? Are you able to afford the basic? Are they able to afford the basic? If you dey knack Gary 3 times for week, there is a problem. If you dey knack rest 3 times for week, there is a problem. If you dey knack rest 5 times for week, there is a problem. If you dey knack Pemaun 5 times for week, there is a problem. I know they talk about lovers of Pemaun. I they talk about eating Pemaun because you don't get option. Okay? If you dey knack dry rest 7 times for the week, there is a serious problem. Dry rest. Anyways, like you say, Matilda, you can begin to remember with something that will knock you one for go. But these are the things we need to talk about. These are the things we need to talk about. How you don't manage for pay your house rent. Are you paying house rent? Are you dey pay house rent? How you don't manage in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years for cope with your house rent, for send your pikin and go school, for pull chop money na house, for go give your mama small money na hand, or your papa small money na hand make it whole, for give you for help your sister, for help your brother, and for even try for help your community. How has that been going for you? These are some of the issues we're talking about. These are some of the issues we are looking at through the manifestos for see how are these politicians, these candidates that are saying, voters saying, how are they going to address your issue, my issue, and everyone's issue? But before we sit down inside the show proper, I want to make we talk about something interesting will happen just now. As a matter of fact, if I look at my time, it just don't happen exactly about an hour ago. That was the mayoral debate, the Freetown mayoral debate. As we all know, now 4 set of votings them. 9 uno they do that day. And if I not mistake, please correct me because I may tend to get this one wrong. I believe say that day uno they vote for the president, uno they vote for the mayor, uno they vote for parliamentarians them, and uno they vote for councillors them. I believe uno can correct me if I make mistake. Do ya? Madam Akisoya, somebody by the name of Kasim Conte. In total, there were supposed to be 5 candidates. Okay, 5 candidates we agree say then go sit up and tell the Freetonians, because remember this debate, this mayoral debate, not about any other signer salon. The only side where it concern inside salon are Freetown, the capital city. So then need for can sit down and tell we waiting at them plan for Freetown, how they want for improve Freetown, how they want for help develop Freetown, waiting then get inside and Kotoku, wait for make Freetonians them, for believe them, above panel, and when they go put that paper the 24th of June, then check the name say, na this person here so, na me feel say, or we feel say, we go put we above pan. So, uno no for say na Uma Ufufana obviously na been the moderator of this debate, and the debate be organized through Sarah I and and another institution where not they come up me aid right now. But Sarah I they don't they do this even the last election. In 2018, they also organized a mayoral debate. And I found the debate, they're also very informative. Like I tell you last week. Now, because of this debate, I changed my mind about even Akisoya, the last debate. Because for some reason, I just didn't see it. I did not see it. I not see it. But after that debate, I was so convinced. Just like today again, and I can tell you now, the reason why I feel say certain people then, if they join hand together, then put it together, there'll be something beautiful that would come out. So in general, then get 8 candidates there. Then send invitation to all the 8 candidates there. All the 8 candidates there where they represent the different political party, including 2 independents then. Now from the 8 candidates then, the 5 of them greasy, then go come. And go can talk to salon people then. But then 5 then they 2 of them now be independent. 3 of them in the represent political party, 2 of them now be independent. So we been get Sheriff Barry from the National Democratic Alliance. We been also get we been also get Lillian Camara, Revolutionary United Front party. We been get Sarah Kaba, when an independent mayoral candidate, so I be one of the independent people. We been get Ibrahim Sako, winner for the Alliance Democratic Party. As uno we watch the debate, una go no say Ibrahim Sako no show up till the debate done, so he wasn't there. We been get Kasim Conte. We also Kasim Conte when the United Democratic Movement Insef Bindede. But all them people they also we know say at the end of the day the debate was for me really and again correct me if I'm wrong, I don't even think say this person Sheriff Barry been then at the debate. I think say two of them actually were absent. Because from what me remember, when I been to watch the moderator, when I Uma Ufufana, I see three women them, right? I see three women them, Lillian, Sarah, Yvonne, and then I see a man when I Kasim, right? So again, audience, correct me if I'm wrong. So basically, now them four people they also debate, right? Now them four people they also debate, and questions then come out from questions where Umaru indraw and questions then where the audience participation ask online audience as well and question and where people are sending inside. Uh, Before I give me own take about this debate, I'll go ask few questions them, me guests them, me co-host them. Make them tell me what I've been there take away when they watch this debate. What I've been there take away. So I will begin with Madam Kadi. Madam Kadi, I don't know if you watched the mayoral debate, and if you haven't, please, if you did not, please go back. Umar Ufofana get on a platform. I believe Star TV was showing it. AYV unfortunately not showing this year. AYV have been originally the collaborate on this debate, but this year they pull out the last minute this morning, as we see from the news, they pull out, they not participate in showing. Sierra Network showed it. It was rather unfortunate. We not be able to show them. I wished we also have it on our platform, but maybe after the show, we can put the link so that people can watch it, stream it from our networks as well. It's important. I think it's very important for many people to go watch the set of questions them will be asked and how the candidates them respond to them questions then they. Madam Kadi, make a left the floor game.
Unfortunately, I'm not watching. I just see the last part with the independent lady in the talk. That was just towards the end.
Okay.
I'm afraid I'm not able to say much. But I would, as you advise, I will try for looking because I think it's an interesting thing. It's nice for the I will wash them back. You see, so at
Yeah.
least because that will help we are all the union. It will help people let we know who that not the candidates and who that we want vote for. You see?
Yeah,
So
the debate
unfortunately,
itself, yeah, the debate itself is about 90 minutes long. It went over a few minutes past 90 minutes, but I think anybody, any well-meaning Sierra Leonean should spend the time to actually go through it thoroughly, listen to it in the candidates then they propose, listen to the question, then listen to the way how the candidates them approach the questions then. Mr. Kagba, I'll go over to you.
Yes, now great question though. Within we think because this at the end of the day now we own opinion, and one thing we I need for highlight very clearly the fact that then do unpack Creole. To me, I want to forgive the organizers. Then kudos. I don't know if Gento be aware because I be they watch some of the comments them. So
He
the
was aware.
comment he was aware. So he
He
be
was
aware
aware.
saying
As a matter
about
of fact,
Creole.
before I make you continue with your thoughts, make I make this
Yes,
clear. The
sure.
invitation letter we then sent out to all candidates them, they had the option to either speak in Creole or in English. And they even state say the debate will be in both the Creole dialect as well as the English language. So there was no ambiguity about that.
Yeah, but they not go put say it go either be Creole or English. That's not right.
No,
So
both. Both.
yeah, but here is one thing: the audience, very important, especially when then they vote. We can come to the international community later. But during the election time, it's all about the local people them. Because of now then get for make informed decision. So una want for give them opportunity for understand on a platform. After where you don't win the election, then you can make whatever address now in English, French, Chinese, whatever depending upon the audience where you they give you speech for. So to me, I really want for say kudos for the fact that they make them in Creole. And now one thing that way I'll emphasize this very clearly. Where with people in na salon, I don't know if not just complex we get about this whole English, about the British people them, where we they feel say a weird for like high class somebody talk Creole in a public. I rather they read some of the comments. Somebody say, "Wow!" Now the first thing they say, "Umaru Fofana," they talk Creole. Umaru Fofana na Sierra Leonean. Why you for surprise? You know. So, but again, given a woke now SLPP BBC they report for fair game, but then politicians here to me is really essential. Plenty time for the talk even with the president for presidential address. It's very important for let it talk Creole where you they address the people them, and then you can get interpreter where go interpret by English. Where if you get like you know foreigner or something, then cable will refer you to certain channel where you go say you cable for switch to the local from the local dialect to English. But again, I really want to emphasize, even Parliament, interestingly, people then they say this back. I don't say they go a little bit off topic here, but I just want, I really excited for what they do unpack Creole. Because I remember at the presidential debate, English, and we see say some people have they struggle. This now you people, you local people you the address. And people when they talk back say parliamentarians them, therefore sabi speak English and stuff. Parliamentarians they represent Britain. They represent America. They represent Canada. Now the local people and they represent how they go speak language when majority I go say of the local people and not sabi. And that can make the debate in parliament it can act for watch. Because when you hear some English, you hear some person they construct grammar. You will kind of wonder. But as a matter of fact, they're not there for go show how much grammar they sabi. They go there for debate issues. Look at Germany. Look at France. Let me forget about their advanced countries then let me talk about African countries them. Plenty East African countries them. Now them parliament, now them local dialect. They talk them. And look South Africa, the main opposition. Plenty them. They talk their local dialect. But Salon, this borrowed culture where we know they respect we own. We always they talk about English. So again, I'm glad the way you clarify that because some person, few people are right. Now the comment section say gentle afraid because it feels in English that they speak. So I'm glad the way you verify that. Say the letter state say either in English or and Creole. But to me, I don't know if we will get opportunity for see the presidential debate because sadly enough, that is very, very important for like the presidential candidates them engage themselves. Let them get a platform where they go able for be challenged. Not to just for going at it and you get you supporters them where you talk nonsense then clap for you. Go now a platform where you say something, somebody go challenge you, and then they go benefit Sierra Leoneans them for able understand within a policy. Talk about Creole. As I say, when you don't win, the international body be your audience. Absolutely, you can speak whatever English, language where the audience go sabi. So down there, in a nutshell, now one major takeaway I get from the debate, where them put them in English. Per Creole
In Creole.
instead of
Um,
English. So in terms of the individual candidates, them, probably I will give eye level because I don't want to be seen as biased. So I will pause there for now.
Wakande. Listen,
Okay.
this is not about being biased. We are like what I can call nth minutes to election. We are at nth minutes to elections. And right now, we can't afford for Sidon with laurels then. In good Creole, we can't afford for Sidona with bien, right? And they play with certain things then. We get for Tockham as it be. We get for Tockham as we see them. There is no room for sugarcoating. There is no room for, for bio or for cokes. Time for coaxing for bio was 5 years ago. We did the coaxing, we did the bioing by profiling solutions, giving advice, call things that were not right, try for see how we can work on them things then they for straighten them and for the advantage of all, for the benefit of all. Now we're at this junction. We're at the junction where people must decide at the end of the day. Remember, elections have consequences. Elections have consequences. And for 5 years, I don't they say elections have consequences. 10 years ago, I was saying elections have consequences. Okay? 15 years ago, I was saying elections have consequences. Now that make last week I tell people and say, you that were happy with me 5 years ago because of the things that I said, and because how vehement, like how strong I've been there against the APC and what they did and how they took the people for granted, I hope right now in this moment you will share the same sentiment when I begin to say what I need to say to the people of Sierra Leone, because I'm at a junction point where, just like 5 years ago, I cannot afford to be an hypocrite, and I needed to do and say what I needed to do for my nation and for the land of my birth. I am at that junction again this time around, where I need to say and do what I need to say for the nation, for the land of my birth. Because at the end of the day, we cannot continue to have people that hold hostages. If you don't get connection, if you don't get family name, then you are in trouble going to your own country of birth. That should not be the case. You are hesitant. People are calling you. Make sure say you not go there. Make sure say, why should I not go there? Just because of the simple reason that I speak my mind and that I speak truth to power and that I say wrong is wrong. Therefore, you people are now afraid, petrified, and say, no, Matilda, you're too much of an asset. We cannot afford to have you in situations where by the time the Canadian government noticed, they would have caused some serious harm to you. No. We can't afford that. We can't afford to say we live in a democracy. We can't afford to say we are practicing democracy. And yet, in these environments, in these situations, you have people say, no, we're scared for your life. So we're at a point where we have to say the truth. We're then at a point where we get to say the truth. For the gentle situation, all 8 candidates can attest to. You say, when they get the letter, it was made clear, you speak in the language of your comfort. You address the people in the language of your comfort.
Okay, let me interrupt you a little bit, Matilda. You said boku tin them where I want let we take time for unpack. And I'll pass on that.
Wait, interrupt me, wait, before you interrupt me, I just want to say to the audience, for those of you who are looking at the title of the show, please bear with me. Una no for say some 10 day, and they take one thing, I say one thing, and then we run with it. And by the end of the day you'll be like, Matilda, what happened? But this is the title. Don't worry. My word is my bond. This manifesto, we will get to them. Election net we sit down na so election morning. If me Matilda need for sit down na so the 23rd, all net they tell una why I go sleep the 24th one at the vote, and I wake back the 24th for can't tell una what's up. Trust me.
Yeah, well, then that's thank you very much for where you remind where you remind the audience, let them know waiting and the main topic because I know say where
Something
you
is
want
going on.
to do. Wait, you
Okay, see
okay?
now.
Okay, perfect. I know very well say where because of the passion where you get going. My goodness, you go touch on everything, and that's make I understand. As
Oh,
she
waiting
said,
be
it
your
would you.
situation.
You okay? You connection fine? Because would they hear you and would they see you very loud and clear? Would they see you clearly and would they hear you loudly?
Hmm.
You they hear me? Um, Madam Kadi, you they hear me?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
sure, yeah.
So while Matilda they fix up in connection, I just want to let you come in and let you talk a little bit about go back to that Creole thing, that Creole way people the local people and they robbed of understanding waiting the politicians thinking they talk. Waiting they can they talk na parliament, some thinking they waiting the president can they talk, and they say they address the nation. But yet we not even let's say because of we get diplomats them and all that now the country maybe a one for cater to them as well, but we know they even get somebody like first them SLBS where then they broadcast the important messages them, then they get a translation in different other local dialects them. So I will let you rub much by that. What do you think? I'm not saying in anything you get advantage, you get disadvantages. So it not necessarily mean say if them begin talk Creole, all will be advantage. But I just want to let I don't know if you, Matilda, you don't fix up now. You there, we?
Now I hear you now, but for a
Okay.
few minutes I couldn't hear a thing.
Okay. I will just try for let Auntie Kadi come in and let it up
Yeah.
much small about that Creole aspect. For like with politicians, especially the one that way they rule we country them. For like then they talk to the people per Creole. Because Creole na a general across the country. So over to you, Madam Kadi, and if you get anything, because I know say Matilda don't give we loaded issues them, and we go unpack, we go definitely unpack them. But I want to let you talk, Rob Mott, a little bit about this Creole. What you make of that?
Wait till we see this whole thing to some extent um, go along with what you say because when you look at some countries, then I will take two countries for example: France, Germany. When I don't ever see the former president of Germany, the Chancellor Angela Merkel, when they address in English, even though they talk English very well, French one day, because even when they go to the conference, when they go United Nations everywhere, not German they talk because they want them in German. People then yeah, he will see it they say because they represent them. Ever the time. Mr. Why did I say Mr. Wrong? This man of France as well. You see, they talk na French so that people then go understand because now in people then in the lead, not to the whole world. When close meeting where That's what they said, all heads of states and everything. Then because they can talk the language, they all understand English. But anytime they participate in a site, they want let them country them not their language. And I could take United Kingdom for example. We get some positions in a Yasu way. We get what is it? We get cancel on a way and they talk English. The country fan. They choose to win this country, then they pay cancel that they pay interpreters and one. So because they say so people in from the country back. So it address them. Because in English definitely needed. So it is speak that language because people they put some power and it get for to make them understand. So the government they pay interpreters them.
So it look like say we get a little bit of connection issue with
Issue.
yes. So you can take them away,
Yeah. So
Matilda.
basically, for the question, the question
Yeah.
where you asked.
You see,
Oh,
so
okay,
like
she's
then
back.
country there, yeah. So you see, it will surprise so many people say that happened country with English and British people they we know they talk English there, but the government they pay for them. They pay for interpreters there, so it is looking that not stop them at all. You see. So in effect, Sierra Leone, na Creole, the people that they talk. You get me? You see, and so everybody be fortunate. Them born you talk English now. You get some people then they don't begin they talk English now. From when they're small. They're small, say they go school, you get me. Now English and they talk now say they don't, then they come abroad, you see. So obviously when people don't know, you think that at the time when they spend abroad now in Atlanta, but people don't know that they know they talk English from where they born them, from where they small now say they go and explain us so English now alone. So you see, and then so I see what you try for say because like the one that we say that because they say that they can't talk English or something that that's me. We don't want to put any candidate in a situation where it feel intimidated. You understand? By anybody. And not to withstand them. They give you job. Not to withstand them with the please. You get me? Na salute them. Na Sierra Leoneans them with the please. So we talk na the language way, Sierra Leoneans and they talk. No go ever with man no go can say because you dey come out okay, make I can't talk other language. No, you get plenty the way they speak other language like French or that thing, but they only speak English. Why can't our own people be proud of their own language? So in effect, I agree with what you say. You see, because Gentle could be a very good person. You get me? You see, but for some reason, kind of like because of some comments that way people don't make about that. So maybe if you maybe I don't know. Maybe if you intimidated, but I know they can go there, you understand it, because I don't know how other people then go there. If just to say, okay, I did talk then other people then begin can they talk fluent English, they go feel intimidated as well. Yeah. So I stand why in but I see it. In fact, I not ever cross my mind that way. But when people talk something like that, so I feel to say I should highlight within the happen. Like you can also English help you for anywhere. If you're not sabi talk English, the content encourage you, the interpreters there for you. What matters to them is put your points. You see, and if talking English, you're not able to express yourself for them understand, they would rather you get interpreter because they want for know what you they say. Then the interpreter will say exactly which you. Then the people the way they address which you see. So in effect, I agree with Mr. Kagu. Then we left this to with man that we they support. When you go abroad in the midst of social people, then they go talk English because now that's not what they understand. But even when you go big there, you get for talk. Then you people then as salon understand what you they say. You're not going there, you see. I so admire that man. I not they tell me not say that man they talk English fluently. It shocked me. That's what many years back. Because you not ever talk English. Always na German. You go United Nations there. Na German they talk. No matter who say it, na German. You see the speaker, interpreter, then they say UN. When they talk na German, then the interpreter, na English, so the people then some people they will understand. You see, so we get for land that's in the salon, and we get for left for laugh people then say because people they not study English. You see, the Westman no they ever laugh anybody if they not study talk English. In fact, they encourage you. You get me? The Westman no they talk big English. Well, I don't know for the Westman in America, but William Westman then I so they know they talk big English. You get me? I remember when I did say law school, everything. You understand? They always teach me to write simple English. You know, they write big English. You understand? You see? Simple English time for write. You see? So we don't.
Okay, so I think say we don't lost Madam Kade again, but I think say we get the stuff we say they say. So Mr. Kagbo, you want me to answer the question? The question is
Yes,
simple.
yes. Over to you as well.
I
And by
want
the way, before you answer though, I want for make and clear say we go get me go get into the difference because I remember the other program where I be join you, me make and personally say gentle from me assessment and not competent. So I will get to defend waiting I mean by enough competent because let people not say, oh, because I did advocate now for they talk Creole, now then government place them. Somebody will say, but last week you talk say gentle not competent, not because of a talk Creole. I mix her with English, make her say not competent. He answers them and not show
Mr.
anything.
Kagbo will come to that.
Okay. Thank you. I just want let people understand the difference. So yes, if you self cable rob mot as to why some of the advantages them, why we for encourage for let them talk Creole. Now, Parliament during the debates, let them debate the issues then by Creole, and let the president regularly they communicate to Sierra Leoneans them by Creole. Then give an interpreter we go interpret them by English, or if they speak English, let them interpret by Creole and other major languages them. Then they go help. Over to you.
You know, the reason we make, first of all, I tell you, thank you, when you bring that part they come and I don't clear the language issues that the participation of language wasn't an impediment. Language not to be an impediment. Language not to be a barrier or be a problem for make any of the candidates they come. And as soon as CSEF, when Umar will begin the, what you might call it, the debate, it begin in English. When they ask the first question, when they ask, where the first candidates begin talk, it talk inside Creole, and you can see that sets the tone for the rest of the debate because the rest of the debate, if you now watch, it continued in Creole. Even though sometimes when questions are being asked in English, you go see say their responses, the candidates, their responses were in Creole, which I commend, I'm glad for all the candidates the way they do that. Because if you don't they watch past no more, if you no one talk to go, but you got no one talk to go. Every time there is a major issue in Sierra Leone. Every time there is a government minister talking where they talk about something important in a salon. Anytime the president can address the nation or they talk about something important in a salon, we think it always mean an issue with them. I can say why make unu know they talk to unu people? Because for me, the moment you start speaking klaxon, you're no longer talking to me as Matilda Orimisako. No, you're talking to the Canadian in me, but you're not talking to the Salon Titi in me. You've lost me, right? If you want to talk to me so that me late granny blessing soul, or me mama, or me auntie them, we not fortunate to go school, or uncle them, or cousin them. if you want to talk to us as Sierra Leonean, at least we don't determine, say, Creole na we lingua franca. Even Mami Bompo say, where they inside where in name, it sabi broken, small. He no go sabi talk and fine, no, but if you go, you the talk, I able broken to yourself for make you understand. So there should be something that brings us together. There should be something that binds us together. So for Sierra Leone, what is that thing that binds us together? What is that thing that unifies us? What is that thing that when you say Sierra Leone, when you hear him or you see him, and I spoke about this last week, having that national identity. Something where it no matter who sign at the world where you go, when you hear it or you see it, you can identify, you can relate. You know? For most Ghanaians, that is the tree language. It no matter whose other language or whose other region then come on, or whose other language then they speak, they all speak tree. They all understand tree. So the first thing when they say, hey, Namia say, hey, Boko, they found themselves right there. Now inside, oh God. Now Salomon you go see, you know saying na Salomon, baby, so you watching a yai. Hey, they can begin to say, hello, how are you? How are you doing? My name is, I can say, but your name na Bomposa, my name na Matilda. Can we stop the rubbish? You know what I mean? Can we just stop the nonsense right now? Can we just break walls and just say, listen, my name na Matilda, na Freetown na komo, usa you komot. And sometimes I become very, people can see me as very arrogant. Not because I'm arrogant, it's because I don't like the fakery. I can't participate in the fakery. As a matter of fact, the fakery nauseates me. And because sometimes I can be so blunt, I rather walk away than to engage. So yes, applaud to all of the candidates them for sticking to the lingua franca, for seeing it throughout the debate, because what you did today, waiting on a do today now, waiting with government, past and present, they don't fail for do. The only other person where I can remember in recent history where do that day, maybe na that net before the election, where President Koroma Waka go inside, I don't know if na be in Sierra TV or whichever TV that net day, where he say, I can't talk to me people then. That was, I think it was the 2012 election. And he sit down, he talk Creole, he talk what he don't do and what he plan for do. That next day. Nobody not call like Waka go inside the station himself and address the people. I can always say, why this big English? Like, what is the admiration about the Queen's language? Don't get me wrong. I can always don't tell una say, because of how I grew up and the environment where me grew up. Now that makes some 10 day. Once I start English, once I don't begin, it can act for me for change. But I am trying. I mean, you people can give me kudos. From where I started my interactions with you guys to now, I did try, man. When I give me that kudos day. Because sometimes they work, you don't sit down now at the English, and you don't see the talk now. We don't even understand them what they are so say. They are broke. Then you can hear Mr. Kagbo at the background. They don't go broke and down for the people, them broke and down for them, do ya? You know? So from where we started to where we've come a long way. So yes, absolutely. I think like I don't talk say before, there should be systems. Listen, we get the idea now. We are talking about information architecture, how you present information, how other people consume information, and all of that. And Salon, when they talk about fourth industrial revolution, guess what? The fourth industrial, all these things are part of the fourth industrial revolution. So whilst Yvonne or Kassim was even speaking in Creole, talking to the people, there should have been possibilities. I understand that all of them are so involved finances, right? But if we have If we put our minds to it, we can get there. There should not have been any reason why at least the three major languages, dominant languages or dominant tribes them. Now the land. Let's remove Creole out of it because we don't take Creole now as we link with Franca, right? Outside of Creole, what will be even much more interesting is that whilst them debates they are so they go on, whilst una get big interactions, big announcements, big news, then big interviews, them. And I'm talking about ministers, I'm talking about parliamentarians, I'm talking about the president, I'm talking about the chief justice, I'm talking about all sectors that are important. It will be very, very interesting for make we see, a side-by-side interpretation of the Limba language, of the Mende language, of the Fula language. I think these are the top three that I can think of right now in the country. That will be very, very interesting because guess what? The demographic of these people is very high. You need to tap into them. How do you tap into them? They tap into them by using the Queen's language, by speaking the Queen's language, because not all of them are fortunate to comprehend the intricacies of the Queen's language. Here I go again, the intricacies. Not are they all fortunate for understand the language. And when we talk about gentle, and we will go into gentle, and the reason why I say, and I talked last week, for me, gentle, it wasn't about the accent. I could care less about his accent. Because we all get accents. Even the wait man, when I language, we they try for emulate, so they try for waiting and call. He self get accent inside. The thing is, he should understand, they should understand my accent, while also I understand their accent. And we are kids. It wasn't about language. It's about articulation of thought. Like I say, how do you take me from point A and take me to Z without, lost me at the middle? Without an all begin the question or begin the without way accommodate now me head don't scatter, me head don't one. I don't even understand who's you begin and who's you the end. That is my problem with gentle. That has been my problem with gentle, and that will continue to be my problem with gentle. Even when the man came to defend himself and said it wasn't about me not speaking English, it was about the journalist interviewing me, flipping dialects or flipping codes, meaning that it flipped from English to Creole, and so me said flip from English to Creole. In him making a case, still the man managed to scatter my brain. Make I just put them in local parlance, scatter my brain, because you not be able to take me still in justification from point A to point B. And here I'm saying, yes, as a mayor, you can speak to your people, you can talk to your people locally, you can engage with them locally. As a matter of fact, you can switch between Creole and Temne, because like he's Temne, right? You can switch between Creole and Temne, addressing the people, talking to Freetonians, talking to Sierra Leoneans. But when you go on the international stage, whether you're speaking Creole and they give you an interpreter, or you're speaking Temne and they give you an interpreter, you have to be able to deliver. You have to be able to articulate. You have to be able to take people from point A to point B. And for them to understand what you're saying and not lose them in the process. That has been my problem with Gentle, and that will remain my problem with Gentle. This was a missed moment. This was a missed opportunity. He should have been at that debate. I challenged him to be at that debate. And if anybody will want the good of the nation, and the claim say they want the good of the nation, an opportunity like this to talk to your people in front of others, to challenge the thoughts and ideas of others, because that's what debates are for. Why would you want to miss out on that? Make a blow force. I go make them continue.
Indeed, it's nice for you take a break. You talk about one thing where you say somebody na him where they ask per English, the person answer per Creole. So you see the difference there. So the moderator now be your responsibility that like me that mix with a mix then you still don't give people them the opportunity. You don't some people are like how you say, some person they go feel intimidated. You no need for mix am. Make am strictly say na Pakrio, just like this VOS. Now part of we policy. Say na Creole with the talk. All, not to just none of the presenters them. You go say no sabi English. All the presenters then at VOS get university degree, and most of them get masters, at least master's degree. So, but we make them say voice of saloon. If you want let that person na that remote village understand wetin we dey say, make am pa Creole. So again, it translates to who that's na your audience. When I say communication, some people like can just feel say when I say communication, now for big jargons them and stuff. By the way, I'll just say this in passing very quickly. My own professional job what I do for living, I get boku terms them. But now something where they always, because I don't take several calls them how for deal with the media and all that stuff, then they as a spokesperson and whatnot, they make it very clear where you they give presentation. Some person if you say like I go say just now in a moment, you go feel say now insult you are insult people them. But they always the advice say get on your brain. Say you they talk to 2-year-old people them. So now that way there you for break them down. Them big word them, and because you want show say you sabi economics, you sabi the law, you sabi this, you begin give people them big words them, and you lose them. That's not a communication. So communication now for transmit a message. So if that's not the intention, why them politicians here for they use big English for talk to people? But the sad reality is, where do they campaign? Not English do they speak. Where do they campaign? Where do they go meet people them? From Freetown now, they go to the villages. Not English do they speak. Now Creole do they speak. Because they want for let the people then get the messages. So if you they represent the same people here, you want to know waiting you they do for them, waiting a specific policy go mean to them. While you they speak English, and when you they speak English, they only break them all. You they speak big English them. For impress with that. When you put boku jargons according to the do's and don'ts. What you for do, what you not for do, for become an effective communicator, you need to use boku jargons. And where you want to use, if at all something now, you're not able to escape certain word, where you want for use, you still get for defender. You still get for say, okay, well, if you like this, let people understand the meaning of that. But again, this program, we talk say now for analyze the manifestos them. I just in a nutshell want for give me your own take on the debate in the first place. Not to the individual policies, because Napa Creole, it left to the voters them. Because me no get for vote. I don't the way Canada. So I not go talk too much in terms of them policies. But like in a general sense, you see, myself go one for mistake. I want to use holistically. so I catch up myself. So, yes, it's very difficult, but let me make a responsibility, and let me get with people them at heart, where we they talk to them. So it's nice for let we they check we self. Let we believe say, if I say this word, this person at that remote village, they go understand and not go misinterpret me and things like that. If the answer is yes, then you're on the right track. So again, now then me go tap in terms of the debate. But overall, I mean, they get a little bit. I don't know if you be they get that. I mean, they get a little bit of issue with the live streaming. I don't know if you know the network issue and stuff. So you know, they're too clear. And the other thing, though, again, this will be a feedback. I notice, say, where the people and they talk, then they put their name. So it take a while. Now I think the end safe because I not be able to meet up the beginning. The end way Umar Ufofana be they call them. But a nice way somebody like on a zoom the person now in one in a screen, like how we they do beautifully now VOS. Like an example of this. You know, say now Abdul Karim they talk. So if you did in the middle of the program, then display the person in name and in title, say whose party they run under, and if now independent and stuff like that. So then they can for be help, but they not be they do that, and then they not feel say it take a whole lot for let them go able for do that. So now then two major things then they are take from the debate. But overall, I want to say kudos. However, if I say more kudos to that person where he start for talk per Creole. And I'm not say again, I want to take a little bit, like few moments for say this. Boku people them, I don't know if not because of that way we don't condition we brain them. Boku people them go say negative thing about that person with switcher. When they ask him per
No,
English,
I don't think,
switcher.
Mr. Kagbo, I don't want to cut you, but I don't think say there is anything negative there to be felt because they had the choice to either speak in Creole or in English. And if that person they choose for start in Creole, that was part of the agreement under which he agreed for Kamna the podium.
Absolutely. So now that way they is set up, but we people them in general terms. I don't see where somebody not even go better school. Sometimes it stop primary school. And they gladly for a and say, oh, we ministers they all get PhD. The people let me talk what you don't understand. Why you not talk about policy? Why you not say this minister like him because he don't do XYZ, but because he get PhD? So you like her for that? In PhD not for himself. Or maybe by extension, in fumble them. It will only benefit you if in PhD it translates into developing policies that will go positively impact you in a way where your life go come out from one point to another point. But in PhD, not for yourself, not for you. So that PhD for mean little or nothing to you. As long as he able for execute the job with important there for. Period. So whether yes in PhD maybe go help him for articulating point where they go sell salon outside, yes. But for you, salon person, the average person, no, that PhD forget little or no meaning to you. So I just want to clarify that where people they feel I don't know if now out of because them feel say then go themself go get the swag as they can make if them praise somebody will get high education say themself they trending and the shame for praise somebody where they do very well within the community but in no land that formal education go far. Well, let me get with priorities then state. I go pause here.
Okay, Mr. Kagbo, listen. I have no problem with renaming the show. Make I just make people understand this. I get no problem pushing this topic to Thursday and renaming the show the analysis of the 2023 mayoral debate. For change the topic, the title of the show after the show finish, on a quick thing. They do a vloop like that. Because the reason why I'm saying that we've spent an hour already on this topic And I don't see Mr. Kagbawan push Musa and already forgo it. And I'm already forgo
Well, now you open can of worms. Now you open
I
the
don't
how for translate
know.
that Creole can of worms. You know the Creole
You
expert.
open the one bucket. You know what I mean? So it's just like and just what they talking about, speaking in our local parlance, right? And forget people and for understand the greater meaning, the depth of which they say. I want to give you an example. The cotton tree for the right. Remember that thing we say, now for Timap Trangawan inside Jesus, like a big cotton tree, where breeze no they shake. So when Satan can, within Wahala, he no go able you. Now, come see me trying to translate that for make you get the same flavor, the same flair in English. Can you imagine? Me trying to say big cotton tree where breeze not they shake. So where Satan can within Wahala inside English. Eh? Not to the same flavor, gets the same, sweetness inside. This is why speaking your local dialect is important. Like me sitting here, I don't tell you, I say twice I lost. I almost not know how to speak Creole. Twice, it happened to me twice. But again, that was nothing to do with me. It just happened to be the environment to soften myself, the conditions to soften myself. No one was speaking Creole there. Heck, in my family then, no one was speaking Creole because they wanted me to learn French. So it was French morning, French afternoon, French evening. I wasn't allowed to even speak English. So even to some point, I had to relearn. I had to be rethought, and learn my English grammar and this and that, what have you. So when I speak now, you will think, no. There was a time when I don't tell this story before, where I wasn't allowed to speak English. I wasn't allowed to speak Creole. I was only allowed to speak certain local dialects in the country that I was because they wanted me to integrate and, if somebody they talk bad with me, then want for make a know within the person they talk, how to protect myself. And then speak French and I speak Spanish and what have you. But that they all know me for say the moment I had the opportunity to relearn my local dialect, to relearn Creole, I ran with it like breeze. I ran with it because that is the only thing. And I even fought. Sometimes I'll even fight because I'll give you now a personal example. When I met my husband, he did not meet me speaking Creole. He met me speaking English. He met me speaking French. He met me speaking Spanish. So I wasn't around people who spoke Creole. But then when I started, familiarizing myself with people who spoke Creole on a constant, it became a little bit confusing for him that, you're always speaking this language. You're always trying to speak this language. Because Mr. Stefan, they fought with the Creole they fought back with me. So at some point, I had to make him understand why it was important for me to learn Creole all over again and have a really good grasp of the Creole language. And for him, it was difficult because here is a woman he knows, a wife he knows that spoke English and all of these languages and really did not speak this language and now finds herself with a group of people where she's speaking this language constantly that he's not used to. But now go Congo Sami man right now pan Creole. If you knock Creole give you go fit to send a Creole baba. Make I just tell you that they want them. Because I made sure in my learning he also got to learn my local dialect as well. But anyway, sidetrack. All this for say your thoughts about the candidates. The questions them, I think say there could have been more depth to some of the questions them. Like I say, I feel saying I missed
Oh,
opportunities for that.
wait to Matilda. I mean, say we will push on for Thursday. You still they go deeper and deeper to the mayor thing. So who's
No,
one for
now the
push for
mayor thing
Thursday?
I dey talk about, oh, now the mayor thing I dey talk about. Or you want for listen to the debate and come back and talk about her?
No, no. Oh, so you say, oh, you want for now talk about the mayor thing, and then the analysis about the manifesto on Thursday. Okay,
Yes,
now I
yes.
understand. Thank you.
Because so that we don't confuse people, so that when we don't done with one thing, we don't done with it, and then we continue now. Because that manifesto is loaded. I don't want to like
Yes.
mix it up with other things and stuff. I want it to be clear in the minds of people, right?
And
The
to that
mayor.
point, sorry for interrupt you. To that point, somebody put a comment, and I know say my brother. I don't dey observe something. Say most times you dey just make assumptions them we not all water. I want for use the English word unfounded, but we not all water. So you say, how can you analyze something you have not read page to page? I can bet anyone on this program that none of you have gone through those documents page to page. So you see what's in the bug we na that country there. So you come to the program, you don't even comment on what they say, and then you want to throw people off. So this now a complete definition of disrespect for the people where they watch and the people waiting at the panel. And my brother, I don't know whose point you they try for make naya. I they presume from the picture na man. I don't know whose point you they make naya. And by the way, for analyze something, you can able make analysis just from reading what we call executive summary.
Yeah.
You dey make analysis. And SLPP don't pull 5 points. They don't APC then get 10 points. From them 10 points, from them 5 points, then you can still do analysis. It depends on how in depth of analysis you want to do. So let me stop for the do then tier. And now it make we politicians them because of them kind tier way una they do, not to really for they ask this question. Now the people that will write the manifesto for they ask the question. You look at the detail manifesto and then you ask the question how they go able for achieve the entire way they say that they talk about. Not to me. We can choose. I can pick particular aspect of the entire document and focus on it. And call and say, I they analyze that particular component of the document. And I'm not wrong if I do that. But in any case, I just want to point to people them. We get other comments them where maybe quickly.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
I
go
think say
ahead,
it is
please.
what us it is what us because we didn't at this particular time right now, it is what us sometimes address in these comments. And to the person we say this, listen, at a glance, I don't need to tell you what I do for a living. It is my personal and private thing. But I can just tell you right now, just off the top, right? Just off the top, I can tell you for say the SIPP manifesto will contain 120 pages. I can tell you for say straight up 20 to 25 of those pages are wasted pages. Why are they called wasted pages? Because they are images that tells me nothing, that doesn't give me any content, any depth. They only give me pictures of said achievements or what have you. I can tell you for say the 83 pages of the document where the APC writes of their manifesto. I can tell you for say 3 out of those 83 pages are wasted documents, are wasted pages. Why I say wasted pages? Because of their content and because of the background synopsis and whatever we then do. Now, when I look at those pages, I can tell you for say without a doubt, both people, even though one presents a document of 120 pages and the other one presented a document of 83 pages, both of their wording put together, when you look at them side by side, came up roughly to about 80 pages in content. So, for someone who hasn't read the document, or someone who hasn't looked at it, I thank you.
Well summed up. It look like say Madam Kadi don't quite a little bit. Before we drag them come to the discussion, where you be they talk about that Creole, how for interpret something per English. Where will be they come up? I don't know if older for you, a little bit, somehow, not a little bit. But in any case, how I know though, because I'll tell you, I say, how you know? Because you be don't tell me when you they celebrate your birthday, and then you be don't talk about how old you be and stuff. But in any case though, when will they grow up? One fun be day where like you can challenge you paddy or so, say spell this. So two about them. The other one says spell boy. So the one we ask, the other person spell BOY. You know what in the other one say na lie. Then na pa Creole. For per English na BOYS. Then the one we ask the question, I say, but come on, I'll show you. So you see, so that Creole thing, it make even sometimes kinde people and they confuse with the English. Say how you can pronounce them very well per English, but you need able to get some what then you need to get the conviction. Say now the true in pronunciation in English. So it's very, very important for let people they know they misinterpret the one the way they give the message. So now that I just want to make that point the major disadvantage where they talk English to people them. Because it's easy for let people them misinterpret what they say because maybe they get issue for understand the language. Again, I don't want to say this, but the phone lines, them you want to open the phone lines and people them.
Yeah, the phone lines are open, guys. I don't tell you now, this na election season. The moment I come where I say unu ado, the phone lines are open. The moment I say unu kushe, how the body, how was your week going, the phone lines are open. Like I said, you can come up, speak about issues that we've deliberated on the past, or you can wait and see where things are going and then bring your 2 cents on what we are discussing, during the time you call. It all depends on you. Listen, guys, it's fluid. It's not static. Okay, it's fluid. Madam Kadi, I will go to you, but because I need for talk about the candidates there, so I cannot finish the show tonight without not talk about the candidates there.
Yeah, over to you, Madam Kadi.
Yes, I remember saying this up to the audience then. Which you, Matilda, sorry about that.
Yes.
Can you repeat again what you said?
No. We were talking about the language. If you had anything to add to what we've been discussing, that's basically the question.
No, I'm not thinking. Not at the moment. No, I'm not getting anything for add.
Okay. So Mr. Kagbo, what were your thoughts about the candidates and how they project, how they attack? I'm not gonna say attack, but how they then deliberate on the issues. Issues meaning that the question posed to them, and also vis-a-vis the rapport with the opponents. Then.
Well, for politics, the one way we don't he always get advantage because he know the ins and out of the office. So then if we filter down the out, you see now I don't blank in terms of the name because the names they not be they put them, but it's not independent candidate actually, one lady. It constantly be the challenge even in a respectful way.
Sarah, her name is Sarah.
Okay, and I like that, and I don't know if it gets something for do with that Creole and switch, but one thing where I also notice, they not get, they not panic, like they not get intimidated, like afraid for talk to even, for
Yeah.
even, um, because one person be even where it be they talk about the toilet, say they don't build toilet and stuff like that. The person challenge them and say not to you build, not to council bill now the chairman. I don't remember again whose organization, chairman of whose particular organization. So that may impress me. But because I'm not able to remember all their name, like I say, I be they get problem for identify them because I'll be
So
able
you get
for
Sarah.
yes.
You get Sarah, Lillian, Sarah, Lillian. Let me get the other guy's name. Kasim, Sarah, Lillian, Kasim, and Yvonne.
Okay. And the other person will impress me. I don't know if you know the guy in closing. It make a like a joke, but that thing they Sierra Leoneans they need for reflect. It talk about APC and SLPP. Say instead of una, fets always. If one party then a state house, the other party be mayor, they know are they kind of so I don't know how for say paraphrase per Creole, but
No, I
so
help you.
as you can
I
right
will help
me.
you. If I can do it, I will help you. Now for take and put and box them up.
Okay. So for contemplate and
Take
short
and box them.
so for contemplate and short
Take
um
everything and box it all up.
yes, because I know a lot of people will say no, it not say so. Not a word for word. What we say at the talk now. Yeah. so I dey put them in real words. Waiting it mean. It means say where you get one party and then of them two major party them. One party then a state house, the other party be mayor. It go difficult for let the mayor able for get something done because of that tension we always there between them two parties. And we see that with Yvonne Akisoya. We, yes, himself, and not do, Bokutin they were not able to do, but we see her repeatedly where the current administration, when at the SLPP administration, they be they try for frustrate them. And himself, maybe they do something where some people then go consider and say, instead be they undermine the administration. So that tension there, again, I say some people then be they say, again, I create the talk, but I don't want to let people and say, Abdul Karim say, the mayor be the undermine the administration. So some people them can say it undermine the administration. And it possibly say it be true because that's not politics. So this person they can cleverly say me not join any of them two party here. Una put me as somebody we neutral. So it no matter who that go na state house. I go able work with that person there for push the interest of the Freetonians them go before.
Right.
So that side they are really, really impressed. A very good closing argument. It just happened almost say the way we politics then a saloon, the possibility at this point, maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, we go see a mixture of APC, SLPP, or APC, SLPP in a parliament, and then the mayor be a different party. But for this one, in my calculation, from where I born a salon and all where I don't follow politics, I don't feel say we don't day at that level day. But that maybe really impressed me. So then two aspects then they that one last summarize where the person then challenge even over what they don't do, what they don't claim say they don't do, and where they also challenge the status quo. Say, una not just need for think about APC SLPP,
Yeah.
but una for think about the the city. Anyways, I think we get a caller on the line.
Okay, so I go. Okay, so make we take the caller because maybe just maybe my my view of the entire debate will be my closing, just maybe.
Okay.
But we take the caller.
All right. Go ahead, please.
Hello, viewers. This is Omar the call.
Yes, Mr. Umar, my
Um,
stranger. Welcome
yeah.
back.
Tell
Welcome
God thing.
back.
Anyway, we tell you thank you for analyze so we no sabi talk English the program. Anyway, I listened to the debate. To be honest, like what is CEO been the talk, Madam Sire when are the independent candidate, I think
Olande, Mr. Umar, Olande. Me not to the CEO again, oh. No cause treason.
you know, you know, so we don't use, so we don't use to that now. And so we can come and go. So most of the time, I know they get it full follow up. But anyway, like what Mr. Kabo been talk, where they try for talk with Madam Siri, I think say it make a very brilliant contribution today in the program, and it really show himself say in an independent candidate, and where they argue during the debate, take no sides rather than a try for oppose most of the sides. It show waiting to make if them vote waiting at the benefit of the Freetonians. I think say if I been the vote, becoming as somebody who even when I been there, the vote based on issues. If for them be one of the people who before don't consider be vote for key, because really it talk genuinely, it talk from your heart. Then waiting can't discourage you, but all debate again. At least I don't know which kind ambush then go somebody where a talk cream go set for somebody where some people not attend. If for don't finally we see all the parties at table, that everybody can tell Freetonians not to pass slang, but actually what they get for Freetonians in come election and what they go deliver after the elections. At least
Exactly.
now a lot of missed opportunities today where it happened today where at least a dishonesty on the part of a particular group we no can at the program because we know left for call them. If I call them this not it could be other thing, but everybody know the particular group. But then before don't can at table now we can see. If na allegation don't sabi talk English, now we can see. If you sabi talk English, now talk you know want talk alone, we can see. If you really even come for can talk to the Freetonians like when you they claim say you want to talk to voting and understand. I've been facing a platform today where even from can because here the language you everybody don't understand. Then talk today. So why you missed that opportunity? Now the question I know go for the ask for meet up the election. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Omar. I hope so you go to call and join the program and what have you. Hey, people, some of them can say I can forget for ask una for stars. I don't explain why that in the list thing in my mind, but I think say we've been taking the time for explain to una why the stars. Don't take it for granted that I sit here. Obviously, the stars are not coming to me. No penny of it is coming to me or any presenter on VOS. We don't explain USAI. Any money generated on VOS could go. So please give us stars like you go on other platforms. You support them with stars. Do the same here because I'm also taking time to do the show. That's this and all of us are taking time to to represent the land and we'll appreciate you giving us some stars so it would go towards the work that we do, not any form of remuneration towards any of us. Okay. No say I don't talk boku English right now, but trust me, I'm not going to repeat all that deep and Creole right now. I cannot like you now. Now, for the debate, and maybe waiting at the can say maybe go open up the final discussion for make we close this. I agree with Mr. Kagbo and also the last caller, Mr. Umar, we say, Sire, her name was, I believe, Sire Kaba, the independent candidate. He been get a lot of, good points then where he be make. Okay, actually, overall perceptions of the candidates and also how they answer the question. Make I just zone my mind and then answer this, give una my honest opinion about waiting I feel. Yes, I strongly believe say them if for done they project the names of the candidates, them political parties, them or non-political parties that where they represent during the debates, because even me, I've been get for the go back and I'm again for the member. Okay, Uma will just ask this question, and then whilst the debate they go on, it took me like a good 30 minutes in for make almost 40 minutes for make now I cement myself with the name, why I read the voice them and know that they talk, that they respond to this and that. I've been glad that the candidates then outside of that, I think say like for say saying I missed opportunity for way the biggest right now, or the ruling party, the current ruling government, where they send, we want for send a representation, we get a candidate for stand for the mayoralship, miss the debate. I think it's a big faux pas on their side, and I hope Freetonians, remember that, because it's not only about your individual campaign. It's not then space there also the show how you can work under pressure, how you can think on your feet. This was a very, for me, make I can tell you now, okay? For me, this not be a pivotal moment. This not be a key moment, because it show me how you they think under pressure, how you they deal with, how you they interact under pressure, how you they able measure, how you they able project. Then space there, so they tell me not to for just no more can get a crowd and play two party. Or what have been the things Freetown TT collection or connection. No. That's not what we're about here. You have to be able to show me much more than that. Not a way you open the campaign, you see big crowd, they begin the dance and they show say yourself shall be shake it. No, this is not about that. This is about how Freetonians then go benefit, how Freetonians then go proud of the place where they call the place of their birth, called Freetown, or maybe the place where they don't know as the space, or the place where they don't know as the living space called Freetown, how they go able to live and thrive in that community day, on that tongue day. That this debate been there about. One thing we project clearly for me. And this is where sometimes you see the strength sometimes in people, somebody where they read a lot, somebody where very exposed, and somebody where just the kind side no more newly. You can see the stark difference when Yvonne been they bring out issues and they talk about issues from where somebody where they come out from just that layman's understanding of things, and the way then they attack their issues then one thing I see about the candidates them, except for Yvonne, and maybe if she was also thrown in this light right now, sometimes help me for them at that same position there, is the fact that the candidates they not do their research properly about the division of institutions. They not do their research properly about the roles and responsibilities of all the government agencies and departments then. Because clearly you can tell by some of the questions the way them in the throwback at Yvonne, you clearly tell say they don't know whose institution responsible for the management of which sector. So therefore then they lump them all back to the city council. And I also have been done talking for say we get roles and responsibilities then are institutions then. We get primary roles and responsibilities, we get secondary roles and responsibilities, and then we get collaborative roles and responsibilities. Some of the issues them really where they attack or where them bring forward to the former mayor, as we come to see, or as him being able to articulate her, if people are in listen, you can clearly see, say, Denton and they not fall under in jurisdiction. And because he not fall under in jurisdiction, he can take the lead role. He can only plead and appeal, and bio. If the person agree for do the work, fine. Or if the person agree for do the work with him, fine. If the person not agree, this is it. And it doesn't matter who becomes the mayor. It doesn't matter who becomes the mayor. These divisions, roles, and responsibilities are not going to change. They're not going to change. So it is very important to know who the key players are, how you going to work with the key players then. So that they come out for me now, all the candidates them. The one thing is, the one candidate who may not be understand what even they do this self now in Kasim. Kasim, I don't mean to be rude, but I don't know what you were doing at that debate. I honestly don't know if you were there for just, for bring light scan to the situation. Some people, then clearly, when they go inside something, they clearly know for say they have no business being there, but they are just going there to be that, that extra force, that thing where they, kind of mellow tempo down things. And he brought that because for me, he answered them when he responses them were so funny. Like they had nothing to do with the questions they were asking him. He was so off topic. It wasn't even funny, So it brings that comedic side to the thing. A little bit of laughter, even though we were talking about very, very serious, important issues. So at some point, I even write for the comment section, say, I swear to God, I think say Kasim na an undercover comedian when I pay for Kasim on this debate, because there is no way the way he was addressing issues. There was no way, no how anybody can take that guy as a serious candidate running for mayorship of that city, forget it. But even as much as where I say the two women them, even still I can clearly see the lack of not understanding how government ministries and agencies run and the divisions of authorities and duty. But one thing they were able to do was that in some of their answers, not all of their answers, because some of their answers were been very, very flawed, and not being very, very substandards, and also that comes from really not understanding how institutions work, how budget financing work, how budget management work, how resource acquisition work. Then they been come out clear. It been come out clear. So some of the answer you can tell say it feed off of that lack of knowledge. But what I go give them kudos to, what I go give them props to now, some of the innovative answer the way they give about solving some of Freetown, the city's issues. For me, honestly, I am, and I know say a lot of people then go kind of say you've always been a supporter of Yvonne Akisoya, and so therefore we not go be surprised that at the end of the day you land Nayaso. But like Yvonne say, when they quiz them about the sanitation issue and the lack thereof ever since, and I think it has been like 100%, 100-fold amplified now. It don't become worse now since the last 3 months where they're not in our office and what's not. The sanitization issue, you say no. Sanitization not to an event. You say not to an event, now a system and a process. I've been glad how he able to take people and walk people them from when he take office, usai he meet things to usai he don't bring things there now. And he do so with so many different levels of projects and what have you. I've been glad he take the time, even though one missed opportunity where at the very, very first few minutes of the debate, where the first question where they ask is that, what are you going to do? He missed that question completely. At the end, she did like when he did come back and answer them and fool that whole day. But right at the beginning, he talked about waiting in don't do or waiting and don't do in the past 5 years as a municipality, instead of talking about what she plans to do if she's elected. So for me, that was a big missed opportunity. But even with that said, I like the way how we come back and tie waiting you don't do it, waiting a plan for do moving forward as a continuation and even adding more. Waiting will be more beautiful for me to see here is that he pulled them two women then they in. I'm saying the what's her name? This the lady. What's her name, Seth? The Lillian, I believe not been the woman in name. Give me a second, guys. Let me just confirm the name here. I think say Siri Kaba and Lillian Kamara, Siri Kaba and Lillian Kamara. Even though I can clearly see say they don't have it all together, they don't understand it, and I sure say if they go in there thinking what they are thinking, they'll be very overwhelmed. They'll find it very difficult to navigate. But I feel say then get enough that if Yvonne happens to win the mayorship, or if even Gentle happens to win the mayorship, or whoever happens to win the mayorship, I think say it go be beneficial to the person for pulling two women there so. Because for me, sitting back, understanding project management, having like where I don't watch, I don't follow closely the Freetown City Council, I don't follow the project them. I can clearly see Usai some of the ideas that where this woman, where the woman there so bring can fit right into the some of the metrics of Yvonne in Freetown and whatever manifesto or plan. I can clearly see Usai they plug the idea here and there and there, and make it work within that bigger picture. I can clearly see that, and I can see how working with these women because they don't take them time for understand the terrain where then they deal with, the ground where then they deal with. I think there is room there for a lot of collaboration. I go stop here so for now. Make I take the caller even as we wrap up the show. Caller, waiting on your name and also you the call from.
So, caller, you there?
Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Well, that's okay. We can move on because for whatever reason, only the caller.
Okay, so caller, apparently we not hear you know the project too properly. So if you can one hang up and then call again, that will be it will be good. So for me, like I say, these were my key takeaways from the debate. And somebody go say, Matilda, why they say Kasim? Listen, they ask Kasim, say, Udana, you're running mate. Now he points to one of the debaters. They say, I think say we go collaborate, we go work against together. So the man can't sign the debate. Oh God. The guy can't sign
Yes,
the debate.
so here is one thing we I want for emphasize from what you say is how important debate be, because with debate you go know how somebody prepared for get the job. Because you see them people the way you talk about, so it not necessarily means say they go make bad leaders, but it is show how serious they not take the job. Then just do
Yeah.
it maybe for show people them or for get popularity and stuff. Because it's just like a job interview. When you want
Yes.
a job, you get first for look into within the job, like within that company they do, within the job entails, you will say responsibility, all that thing and they will help you prepare. And to some extent, I know say yes, Africa, because people are desperate for get job, then go as long as they say vacancy there and that, then go apply. It don't matter if they know the company and stuff. But yeah, when you get your skill set, say your skill set is valuable to boku companies them. You want for work for company where you self believe in. So you go do all the inquiries then and stuff. And that's make I go quote Mr. Shillon, where he say we boku for leaders then a saloon. They not can take the job seriously. Because they show do no research on the roles and responsibility of this position, and then you say you want to be mayor. So I agree with you. One day definitely ago, and that's make again for the presidency. We see the lack of debate. I go back to it too. I be talked previously. This way where the constitution structured, and now APC SLPP, then can end up for Giwi again. They are big. Let people not take them personal. This is not my opinion, okay? Then can end up for Giwi people were not competent for rule that country day. Because they go through rigorous challenges. Look right now. They pass all over the country. They say, I want to do this, I want to do that. Nobody they challenge them. Pass like social media, how many people them? Because I get boku questions them for ask both Samura and President Bill, but I don't get where for reach to them and ask them directly. But a town hall, a debate where you go able to channel, because now even America, the presidential debates them, they get questions them from the audience, like from social media and stuff. So then there will be opportunity where go ask questions. And but what can happen when they even come and make abroad? Where do they say then get meet in town hall? What they can do now? Friendly audience then they invite people where they say yes, clap for them. That's not a way for solve issues. So they know for sure say they not like somebody put say gentle no need my opinion, they go win mayor. And absolutely that possibly can be right. Because if you run under APC or you run under SLPP, you almost get 50% chance say you go win. Just the party. It don't matter whether you be, it don't matter your platform. And then they're wrong. So then debate here, they able like you make reference about say where you listen to debate, you know be know but so much about Yvonne and stuff. But the first debate of the mayoral candidates them is able for persuade you. And that same effect they if we leaders them, especially the presidents, the candidates they're supposed for not only one debate, they forget at least 3 debates. So if if you mistake, get you think right the first one, you get the second chance and third chance for learn from their errors then they and make people know what you stand for, how you go able to solve the issues. Not a manifesto. Some people and they read the manifesto, they don't even know how to interpret it. And manifesto back, you can write all sort of thing there where go appease use voters them. But it don't necessarily mean say then thing and they're realistic, they're feasible. Now only when somebody challenge you, like I go give example. I'm not say we not coming to the manifesto. But Kofuna member during the previous election, 2018, now President Bill, where now be candidate, the interviewer challenged him about the free education, not to tiwe cheapo. And then the other question where he asked him, how much it go cost? President Bill not get the answer. He said not get the numbers them. I bet you if you ask him now, he still not know exactly how much it go cost.
It doesn't.
So that then people
The
when
last
they
time he
will
said
choose
in
for
our interview, no, it's just a gift
you don't
projection.
know. You don't know. So if you don't know how a particular program will cost, how you go able correctly do what we call cost and benefit analysis. But what do they do? What do they campaign? All to the candidates there. Then just emphasize on the benefit. Then they talk too much about the cost, how they go finance them, and how it will be burden. And to them, as long as they don't do them, whether they do them effectively or ineffectively, they don't do them. But then when you flip them, they oppose the other person. Let's just quickly make an example. Where they do that GTT report, they talk them clearly. Say, yes, APC they make roads, and we all know say roads important. But what they say in addition, their roads then they expensive. I think if I remember the numbers then correctly, say 1 kilometer of road cost about $1 million or $5 million. So that's the cost. So when you equate now, this is an important aspect of development. But when they put the cost, Boku Salon people and say, no, it's too much. So you want tell me say then, yes, you want tell me say then you go praise them, say then do something because you don't know how much it cost. You don't know say not a good deal for Sierra Leoneans them. And some of them things they are lacking. But with the debate, then we will challenge them. Say, tell me the cost. And I will talk a lot of some about it because I feel and you will tell by the passion where it comes by economics. I will tap
Yeah, I
on
know
the
you're a
but
man
the
of the
fact
numbers.
yes. Yeah, the fact
You're a
of the
man of the
matter,
numbers.
Matilda and Madam Kadi, is that the debate is very important. I don't know how we will influence the presidential candidates them for let they engage in a debate. It's very, very important.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, definitely. Debate's very, very important, like I say, I've been for really, really like a situation where yes, the candidates then can then challenge, the former mayor about certain things. But truth be told, most of what they challenged her about, because they failed to do their research, because they did not take the time to know what they were getting into, the importance for able to make the differentiation, for understand the delegation of authority and line of authority, so that when then they make their case, then go able to make their case succinctly, thoroughly, without making, because most of the thing that they do, they make inference because they not take the time for study, they not take the time for know the differences then, like the fact that Yvonne really had to come and tell them that no, when I took over we did not have a digitalized system. When we take over office we will get a revenue of 8 million, and then only 37,000 property them they register say they inside Freetown. Can you imagine that? Only 37,000 property be registered say they inside Freetown, and out of those 37,000, most of them were not paying. But now, how can you argue that your property is not in Freetown? Because it don't change into a digitalized system. If you go argue, they see the picture of your house. You go deny say that they're not to your house now. Say that host they not to you host, that name they way then that host they not to you host, and so therefore you not for pay tax for them because you don't digitalize them, you don't make sure say there is a Google map, there is an art map of every place, you don't able locate you host from Yaso self, you they put in the waiting and call you host they come out. How you they able argue that? So you see a situation where somebody come in with a revenue of 8 million, it take and go to right now at the time he left office to 35 million. From 8 million to 35 million, that is a big revenue generation stream that she created.
You there?
All by simply by closing the loopholes, making sure that people are accountable for what they are. They pay what is owed to the city or what is due the city, so that the city self can able do waiting able do on your own case or on their own side. You know what I
So
mean? So
let quickly ask this question. Now the debate they analyze or
Yeah, but
they showcase some of the things them way the
no,
mayor
no,
don't
no.
do.
I'm analyzing the debate as in if they had come ready and if they had come prepared, these were not the things that Yvonne would have had to show them. They would have had used these figures to then question Yvonne, right? They would
can I
have
come in?
used some of these findings to question Yvonne that okay, you came in with, you came in and the revenue was here. We can see that you have generated or increased the revenue to here. What have you done in your 5 years while you increased this revenue? Where did this revenue go to? Which area were they spent? What were the results and things like that? But they were not able to
Yes.
ask, and to be honest, they're not being able to ask Yvonne, like, really, really. I am sorry I said this. I'm like, I hope waiting maybe in the hope for see. I mean, the hope for see candidates that we go really challenge Yvonne. We go really debate with Yvonne. That's what I was hoping to see. But what I saw, to be honest, were not candidates who could really stand and debate with her toe to toe. Because what they were the arguments they were presenting were not in line with her duties and responsibilities. And so therefore, instead of them having, she had to school them, and that's at some point she had to be schooling them, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted a debate. I came to see a debate. I came to see candidates who understand the shoes who side they want step into. We understand the duty. We understand, the importance of waiting and they go inside. And we for don't do the research and clearly understand. And we for don't come with questions, the solid questions they are ready for throw them at the
Yeah,
person we say,
yeah,
una give
yeah,
me chance.
yeah. But with all fairness, though, Matilda, Madam Kadiwan coming, but I'll just say this quickly before I forget. Not to just the candidates their responsibility. That responsibility they also lies on the moderator. The moderator, you self where somebody says something, you get for probe because you did it for like the people and benefit where they watch the audience. So if somebody lie, it says something wrong, you the moderator for bring them to it say no, but the record say this. We got a call. I don't know if we can take this call before Madam Kadi come in
That will
or
be the last
no.
call. That will be the
Yeah,
last call,
yeah.
and yeah, we'll close the show.
Okay. Yeah, then go ahead. You can take the call, Matila.
Yeah, okay, caller, waiting on your name and also you the call from.
Hello, Matilda. This na Umaru they call again.
Okay, Umar, I don't see you comment. Go ahead. More bad.
Okay. Please, I've been just want to ask. Because really na a time this na a very crucial time is at least we need really just like quoting viewers already they stand for. We need neutral bodies when you analyze political issues, because now we don't get a lot of candidates at the table. We, the Sierra Leoneans, will able to analyze which one good for. But if you were not the host, according to you too, you already they try for showcase one candidate in the give advantage or an edge over the other ones. I feel say enough fear. To be honest, if really you want the host the show, you got to be more neutral. We all know say everybody get to say the support, everybody get to say like, but kind of time of analyze really for at least for give justice to the viewers and for give justice to the people who contend for a particular position. You got to analyze them that neutral way. Thank you very much, because
Okay.
the way they analyze things lately. It's like they give edge to one particular somebody over the others, and viewers now a very big platform. Everybody listening. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Omar. And I think say when I talk for me personally, I can like for make people and listen to waiting at they say. I laid the reason why I feel like I did not get, for me, just because I analyze something doesn't mean that I cannot have an opinion. I said for me, I wanted a debate. I wanted to see candidates who would come and debate Yvonne, and I gave reasons why. I said what I saw was at some point she had to teach them the duties and responsibilities in line with the questions they were throwing at her. And these were research that these candidates ought to have known. They ought to have known these answers. They ought to have known these things so that when they ask them question, they know they ask them question in line of those, but then using what she's already proposing that she has and that she's done, use them one and they probe more, dig more into them, but not go ask and question where first of all not they in line with in duties and responsibilities, and therefore in now therefore teach you say no, this question you already they ask as a matter of fact, even they in line with in duties and responsibilities. That for me is a wasted time of my time, because when you are coming in as a candidate, you want to make a vote for you. You want to make a tell Sierra Leoneans them why they should give you a chance. You also have to prove to me that you are worth your salt. And if you are not worth your salt, or you cannot prove to me in this moment that by what you are saying and the issues you're bringing forward and how you are tackling these issues, you are not worth your salt, I'm sorry, I do not have the patience. I'll have to say it. Like I say, I see an opportunity for whosoever become the mayor to work with these two female candidates, especially Lillian and Sarah or Sarai, her name, is it? I don't forget her name, but the other lady, the independent lady, and I say why. I say why. For example, you know, go to kind of a mayoral debate, and then when you say the Freetown, the city choke, and that you want to create market, and then they ask you, how are you going to create this market? Whose space you get for use for create the market there so? And then you answer to we is that, oh, we go move people them, we don't build na some side there, we go move them, we go relocate them some side else, and then we go use that place there and build market. Hello? How is that a succinct answer? How is that a solution? So no, I am sorry. You may not agree with me and my stance, and that is okay, but I am not here to play games with anyone. When you come, you have to come correct. You were coming to a debate. You were given enough time to do your research. Come with profundity, come with depth, and here, I will back your depth. Areas that I can back their depth, I backed their depth. Areas that they fall short, I have to say they fall short. We done their left una to the other two hosts them, make them close.
Madam Kadi, come in, please.
Well, actually, you hit on the point where everyone talk for say Umaru Fofana, they get duty for probe. You see that in your position, Danny. You see, because the contestants they're not going to know everything. And in all fairness to the other contestants, and to I'm not picking on Yvonne anyway, you see, I'm just saying something based on what I hear, because I'm opportunity for watching, you see. So I will only make my point based on what I hear. Yvonne, first of all, Yvonne was already in there. So Yvonne knew everything, you see. You know, cancel and all that. So if they tell anything where the other one they say, no. Yeah, you go for interviews, but you don't know everything about the company. You go so much, but you don't know everything, you see. So they keep able to do the research, but everything they go know. And when you consider it, not only some kind of established organization where the internet gets almost everything where you go tell people them, then you're gonna order websites and back we will tell you more about the city council. Like they go look for you go look on one side, it will tell you more about that one. You go on the side, you can even go look at the finance, the financial reports them and all that. I don't think it is all that nothing said and get all that alone. All fairness to them people then try. Then try. You see, because like when that is why they have people working there. Because when he went to the council, when they go take up the job at the council, based on an you get me? Based on an audio where somebody say, ain't been on the council for 2 consecutive terms now. You understand? And so you know the job. You see? So she was working with Yvonne. You see? So she was helping Yvonne as well. You see? So when Yvonne go there, Yvonne will know everything at the council. You see? So similarly, if she did not know everything, so the people then say we cannot go know everything. Take so much. You get me? And the mere fact say you say, then pick out, then go to the council, then take something from waiting Yvonne don't say. You get okay, fine. Now Yvonne put something there. But yeah, well, Yvonne had been the mayor at the time. Now you get for put something at the website. You see? Now you get for put something at the website. So waiting there at the website, the person go to the website, the person not particularly go for go copy waiting Yvonne say. He go for go do your research at the website, then he see something, whether or Yvonne puts on it or not Yvonne puts on it. So me, I think that is irrelevant. At least he go there, he try for doing research, he go there, he see something. Yes, if you're not conversant with everything where he sees there, you get me, and Yvonne was in the position to correct her, I don't see anything wrong with that because now in don't man that place there for 5 years. So it's supposed to follow everything. We did it. Past the other candidates and we don't go inside it. But there are people where they inside the council, we go work with them. You get me? What I want to say is I'm not seeing me within know who that me want to tell you. You get me? Also the place now they were talking about we all man get somebody. But in all fairness, waiting again when me like the only part where I see a meet up where the last person we call himself an independent. It's rather sad and not say that at the first instance way when I ask me. I just say I not watch the debate. You get me? I should have said that. You see, then Mr. Cargo probably just supports me. But I just want to say it. I don't want to let it say that because Mr. Cargo say that. But really, the last person we ask we call himself independent, I'll be like with here. The short time we watch him, I like with here from that independent candidate. You see, it come across like somebody where you see, given the opportunity, you see that part, he can do something. If when you go to any side, you can get help. You get me? Now that's something I want to say now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Kadi. So basically, I just want to clarify, say these questions were not coming based on what was written on the Freetown City Council. These questions were coming simply based on assumptions that, you know, it was the council's job, for example, to clear garages off the streets, or it was the council's job. I can go down the bucket list, but that is an example, and it is not. That and then I be assumption questions the way they make way. If me they run for an office, for an elected position, at least I think say the onus is on me for make I do me research, for make I know waiting fall under the purview of that office day, and waiting not fall under the jurisdiction of that office day. So that way I they can debate me opponents. I know exactly the type questions the way I they ask me opponents. I not gonna ask me opponents then say, oh, one thing where the council not take care of, now for get rid of all the garage them na the road and na the street, and that is not council's job. To get rid of cars on the street, that is the job of the police. To get rid of cars on the road, that is, or garages or whatever, that is the job of the Road Transport Authority. Now then, thing there, so they say, as in, if they can't run for their office there, so these are simple, basic things that's coming in that you should know already. I know they talk about, of course, when you can say a job, there are many things you have to learn within the job. But that basic way they present your candidature, you they present you whatever for you for sabi some basic things them, and that I think was, for me, that was, like I said, me on disappointing part of the debate, or some of the questions them, that was my disappointing part of the debate, that I felt like instead of now even trying to tell them that no, this is not part of council's duty, then for don't use that same day for really pound Yvonne on some serious matters them we fall under in jurisdiction. And I maintain that for me that was that I see them
No,
as
I
a
agree
lost
with
opportunity.
you.
Yeah.
Masida, I agree with you because because me no watch the debates, you don't go in depth. Like when you explain about garages and all that, I see where you're coming from. You get me?
Yeah.
And I agree with that. I not dispute that. I agree with that. Considering it may not be know nothing, but like when you tell me a little bit, you understand it. I agree with that with you say.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Kagbo, I'll have you close the show for today. We've ran a bit over, so yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make it quick. Okay. Before I give my own last word, I want for address we own fine sister. Well, I mean fine, not to that way when I go sue me. Now that fine, yeah, now that fine way we people them back home they say this now fine gentleman. Now that I mean we find sister Memuna to Barry. A ask first say how Yvonne, the first question, how Yvonne consider for the undermine the current administration. I don't explain that part there, saying people them, okay, because we don't see them, we don't read on them, people who don't make video and all that, and they even the deputy minister of local affairs, local government, I should say, make it clear na in video. So from all the accusations, then they make us say people them. Okay. So my own opinion on that, I go reserve because you know relevant now. So the second part, where you talk about saying waiting at the proof. So there's proof of what Madam Yvonne Akisoya has done, not claim to have. I specifically use that word they claim because it's subjective. If you feel say waiting it don't do plenty. Other person go say no do nothing. So now I make as a claim. So when you they do debate, waiting you claim say you don't do, you get now for convince the people them say then thing and day where you claim say you don't do, then sufficient. So not
Yeah.
to say where I say it claim say it don't do, I dispute waiting it do. So I just want to make that distinction there. Now just no more for protect myself. Let people don't know run with me name. Say I say this good or bad about the mayor. Now I make a very measured way how they make me comment them. So now, Matilda, the last part you say something very interesting. You say they ask, I believe you mean the moderator ask the other lady, say you talk say you want to build market them. How you go do that? Now the moderator ask on that?
Yeah, so one of the question was how are you going to, like, what's your platform? What you they bring come, right? So
Yes.
in one of the answers there, it say
Hmm.
in one bill something like a unisex market or something market.
Okay.
So Umaru then the moderator then said, Freetown is choked right now. Like even with all the different markets the way the former mayor they try for renovate or don't renovate or even new markets they're like Freetown really choke. It's over, crowded. He say, Usa you go look for place for go build this market. And her
Okay.
response was, we will build it. He called the area a name, but this is an already established area where people have built their homes and everything. And she goes, they would, just basically render the people homeless, relocate
Well,
them
it's,
somewhere else,
okay.
and then she will build a market there. Hello?
Here's the reason we make now the reason this will make I ask you that. You make it clear say na Umaru Fofana ask him. So that's not probing. So why it go probe other people on them policies? Then and not go deep and do similar to Yvonne. So that's
He
why they
did.
say
He did. No, no,
that's
no.
that's why
Point
they
of
say
correction, he did. Point of correction, he did on every
oh
single debate.
yeah,
He did.
but then you say the debaters therefore don't push Yvonne on like in revenue, how we spend her and stuff. Umar Fofana self
Because
can
they
we do
also
that.
get,
He
make a
self
clear
we do
something.
that. Just like how he probed that other person. I just they make the case now say the expectation where you put on the other candidates than too much. Because again, now the
No,
benefit
no,
of
no, Mr.
incumbent.
Kagba, I disagree. I disagree because yes, I understand. Say maybe Yvonne they come from an advantage point because he
Yes.
already done then at the office and understand
You
the
know how they
office.
run and
But if
stuff.
me they come for can compete for take you job now you earn a job where I know for say you still want compete for, I'm going to come ready. I am going to come
Yes.
so ready that So if I dey come with team them, I for able for back am to the T. To the T.
With
Even
all with
Umaru was not partial in his questions. He posed very hard questions to each candidate. He did very deep probing to each and every single one of them. Let me just be fair in that, like
okay.
straight up.
No,
Let me just be
I
fair.
see where Mr. Kabo I see where Mr. Kabo is coming from. I see where Mr. Kabo is coming from. Umaru Fofana has a reputation, you understand, of directing his interview based on who he is asking the questions. You understand? You see, he gets that reputation there. You dey see Umaru. I remember there was an interview where Umaru conducted where he asked the first lady the way how we ask them questions, and you can tell that probe and fine, ask the question fine. I am not a journalist, but I would have done a better job if I maybe question first lady that any. You see, and not only first lady, we don't see that in one or two other occasions. So what Mr. Kabo is saying here that it could be that some preferential treatment were given to one or two people. I
I'm
don't
not
know.
go
You understand?
I'm not going to say
No,
yeah,
not preferential treatment.
yeah,
Excuse me,
Madam Taki,
excuse me,
Madam
Honestly,
Taki,
excuse me for the
Madam,
word. Excuse me for the word that I'm using, professional treatment. You understand it? Because at least I can't think of the right word to say. That is not what you're thinking. But I can understand because you have to treat people equally. Treat people
yeah,
equally. If you are putting pressure, one person pressure, then put pressure on Yvonne as well, who already have the job for 5 years. You understand? You
yes,
see,
yeah.
they should have put him under that same pressure because then
They
she should have been
did,
in a
and
better
now that
position
make I
to
want make
answer.
am clear.
I'm
I want
only
make am
I'm only
clear, and I
speaking
also
based
say
on what you're saying here because I've not watched the program, so I don't know.
yes.
I could be wrong. I'm only
I
saying
want
based
for
on
make
what
am
I'm.
clear.
Yeah.
I want for make am clear again. Say there was no preferential treatment given to any of the debaters. If me
no,
sit down, I also
that
watch the program from beginning to end. I watch the questions, say how the question, the one that will come off from the audience, the one that will come off from the people that were in the inside the hall, and how they were given time to answer, the one that will come off from the internet. Questions were from and all and questions that were submitted ahead of the debate. I cannot sit here with good conscience and say at any point, Omar Ofofana, at any point in this, I'm not saying any other instance, so but for this particular debate, conducted it in such a manner that I can. And me, I go quick for questions, somebody, quick. That people know,
no
right? I cannot do that.
okay, let clarify here. Preferential treatment is very strong in this context. Not to that they suggest. Okay, so what they suggest is the word or the phrase saying Umar Fofana missed opportunity where Yvonne for able clarify Boku thinks them for left Frintonians them understand how things they work. You don't necessarily need for give them all the same question because they come like and get different thing the way that they do the day-to-day administration and stuff. So you not get for ask them the same question throughout.
Yeah.
You get or make because you essence day as the moderator. Now for do your best, let the people the way they vote get boku information we go able allow them for choose the person way them think say now the best person for represent them.
True.
So
But
so
Mr. Kagwe, wait, you get for understand, say during this debate, most of the questions them where Yvonne end up for answer, they did not come from Umaru. They came from her debaters. So if you they accuse me of something and you they point and link to something, I think say the onus is upon me as a debater for defend myself. And that's what Yvonne
no,
did. I'm sorry.
no,
This
no,
one,
no, no,
this one,
no, I know, no, no, I
if
know
you have
criticize,
in the
I not
debater,
criticize Yvonne, I not criticize Yvonne now. Yvonne, in do waiting, in feel say, go able help for convince the people them. Waiting at the scenario, I just want for spend a little bit time on waiting you talk about saying you get
Mr.
when you
Kagwe, a
say
little bit of time. How much time?
well, now you will go back and forth, and where I make me point, you have to clarify. So, but the point where they make now though is that market thing. Yes, you give your opinion, but it was a solution. It be a very expensive solution. It happen yeah. Where if you then see what I mean yeah, advanced country, if you then see a particular site where they feel saying a strategic part, they can buy people them out. And then they can either kind of pay them, buy that place there, then they develop it for something else. Did they do that? So it's very expensive. Maybe Salona will gather money. The Freetown will gather money.
Mr. Kagwe, I am sorry. When you know the context. You know your
So
context. You
so
know you
so 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 so
context.
so you
That
were giving me time
solution.
back, eh?
No, I will give you back that solution for me. First of all, that proposition and solution was not even a proposition and a solution. You know, you will tell me, say, you want build market to side people and don't build and host them, they establish their host there. Look where land issue, first of all, in that place is like do or die matter. So now you as the mayor, you want can tell me for say, who side people and don't build and host them maybe 10, 15, 20, 25 years, all of a sudden, you want can clear their host them. Who side salon, who side Freetown get that money for compensate the people there, first of all, for the land and then for rebuild and host them before now you they can put the new structure where you they propose. Like let us be realistic in our
No,
proposals.
so now you don't come to the point. You know, for say somebody in proposal not make sense, land is strong. Okay? So the point where you last with, who side that money go come out? That expensive preposition. The same thing again with the president. All the plans them waiting at the manifesto. The same thing again with Samuel Kamara. You look in manifesto, the plans them. Now, lofty plans them. Very expensive. So, but nobody no day we go able challenge them. Who side the money they come out? So now the kid and they. So I want to let we kind of left handed, but for say given a, and I remember few people and more people themselves, but who people them I go say now Freetown say the time where that war be happen, and when we come back, then there will be opportunity for expand Kisi Road and Flodo Road because then us then they will then destroy and for because the government less money for let them compensate people that will get the land in that place there and expand. Guinea do am. Guinea some areas there where them buy people them out. Because down there is expensive but a solution and a viable solution for expand the roads them. Kisi Road and Fobe Road. So, but again, let me conclude by saying this is not a very good thing. 100%, I agree with it. Say and do. And I don't know how strong of an influence the people that will put this debate together. If they will get sufficient time for influence the presidential candidates for at least one time. Because I know say we're not able for listen to them twice, make two debate. But let them do one debate. Let them able for tell we We don't see the manifesto. We don't see the promises them. How feasible can they be? I know say we go do the analysis on Thursday or next Saturday, as you say, but it's still not gonna be sufficient. Because waiting will happen, then supporters them. They say, oh, it possible. But when the person there now the stage, it tell you, and then you, the moderator, challenge them, say, just like how that example I give, that BBC interview. We all see how much the moderator push up. And we talk about leakages. So, but the leakages, the way they talk, not a sufficient revenue source down there for funders. And now they see so. It is absolutely true then. So not a sufficient thing. But in any case, overall, we did in the right direction. Are completely glad. And I want to say kudos to the people we put together the debate. And even when the SLBP candidates say you need to participate, and I will give Yvonne Akisoya kudos for that. Where belittle the other people them and it's a pull out. Respect them.
Yeah.
Because for the respect of the people that they share the same platform, gentle, if he not be able to go there, if I don't ask if it's possible for send a representative. Like in Roman mate, for example, we go make. I don't know if that will be part of the options. I don't know why go, but then they can come across in a different way. Again, it's all about perception. Like how people and they go through rumor now, why do why he bail out and stuff like that. Me not know a reason because put out the press release what he put out, you be done debunk him, say all water. So I go tap on day. But again, I want to say boku tenki and a privilege for we allow me for share on a platform and for the middle them 2 billion to money. Again, I want to say boku thank you to everybody. And until Matilda ask me for come again, me na Abdul Karim, I will say tata. Ona thank you.
Okay, family.
Don't bring him on your show again.
Pardon me? Pardon me?
Matilda, take note. I say not bring Ankara issue again. No. Not be Mr. Kabo back na issue.
I've been laughing because one of the commentators and caller, Mr. Omar, he said, Matilda, you took banner. That's why I've been laughing the last few minutes. He said, Matilda, you took banner, Mr. Omar, and not banner, just to be fierce and tenacious in what I believe is who I am. And I make no apologies about that, none
That's
whatsoever.
Right.
But until we go see yourself now,
yes, is not watching this debate.
Power.
My guest is not watching this debate. I would have loved to watch this debate, honestly.
All right, we go try for put the debate up. We go try for link the debate up now we page, now VOS page, and on I can go. I encourage you all to go watch the debate, and you would see what I say. Umar Fofana, I know that he has the tendency to be something else at times, but in this instance, you will see, honestly, he was fair all throughout, all across, and yeah. But listen, until next time, may God bless we all. May God bless.
So why you not say you think say it be fair? That they will qualify him.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. I said I think he was fair. I strongly believe.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I said I think it was. I said I strongly believe it was. But it's up to you. Like, what I think and how I see things might not necessarily be how you see them. So now that make I encourage you all for go watch.
What about you, Mr. Kabo? Matilda, 1 minute. What about you, Mr. Kabo? You watch it. So you think it was fair or not fair?
So you want put me in the hook, eh?
Put me on the spot.
Yeah, let me go say again, fear, not fear, that's subjective, okay? I will say it missed some opportunities them for probe on certain aspects and give Freetonians them more opportunity for know than potential leaders them better. Okay,
I
so
agree
whether
with you.
for
And on
say
that
for say
note,
it be fair or not, then it's subjective, and I want to be
I
objective
agree
now.
with you. I agree with Mr. Kagbo on that particular point, and I think right at the beginning of my opening argument or opening statement, I did say there were missed opportunities. But listen, we are here now. I don't want to run a 3-hour show. I want you all to be able to rewatch the show. So how about we close the curtain for right now, and we all go eat waiting we get to eat, we dinners and what have you, and enjoy the rest of our day. Listen, we're going to change the title of the show immediately after we close. And listen, on Thursday we are here. We will start looking into the manifestos, and we will tell you what we think as usual. May God bless you all. May God bless Mama Salon. Until
Just
then, Una
just
Tata.
Yeah, just quickly though, sorry for interrupt. For the manifesto thing, why we not left am for Saturday? Wednesday can be general topic we don't know, because the reason we make our suggest Saturday more people because Thursday 8 o'clock New York time, then they go be like late na salon go be I think if I like because now 4 hour difference now with salon, so it
Okay,
will be
Mr.
like
Kagbo, I give you my
midnight.
word. We'll do it on Saturday. I want to really close
Yes.
the show. I give you my
Okay.
word. We'll do it.
Okay. So una thank you, and for me then until next Saturday, I want to say thank you and tata. Thank you. God bless.
Bye bye. Good night. Bye. Good night, all.
I'm in life, I no go do the thing we go make a loss in life. If what's not you right, if what's not you like, no go do the thing we they make you lost in life.
Election time, they come now for left, ala. Election time, they come now for left, cos. And anytime we consider anything, who that for votes? Where you dey go, me brother and sister? Make una no fence.
I go vote, but I don't go fence. I go vote, I go tell all the people them say. I go vote, but I don't go fence. I go vote, I go tell all the body them say. You go vote, but you don't go fence. You go vote, hope for the youth we they say. You go vote, but you don't go fence. You go vote.
I want make we know say Salon now we home, and there is no place like home. We for lover to the bone, we for respect am more. Now we motherland, we for respect am more.
Yeah, the mic is on.